Ladies and gents, boys and girls, today we've got a 6-player free-for-all in the first of the Battle of the Ancients games. And we've got a nice bit of art in the foreground, so let's get rid of that. And this one's a slightly different set of free-for-alls. We have bounties to play for, which is bonus points for completing objectives, like being the first player to blow up a planet, first kill, first to get a unit cannon as their second T2, and the list goes on. And we've also got anonymous and masquerade mods on, so the players don't know who each other are. I am Bilal, by the way, was not Bilal, but that remains to be seen. I am also today joined by my co-conspirator, Bot.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. So, having seen the map now, Bot, Filibuster, are you familiar with it? Is it one that you like? What are your thoughts?
It is a... I have played on it before. It enters into the nebulous realm of naked metal planets, or naked planets with, I suppose, naked moons with lots of metal. Very little positions to defend from. Very few CSG to hide behind. Encourages either within a very aggressive lobby to attack relentlessly, or to hunker down. But it does. I don't believe we'll see that with these rules we have here. May definitely make for an interesting game. This is a great pick.
I'm certainly looking forward to it. All right, I'm gonna set it up that way so we can see all of our players this way. Right, so for the purposes of the stream, I believe we can see that this is Gregor's in Gunmetal Grey, also known as Chipmunk. Should we refer to them as their player names or their anonymous names?
What do you, I think maybe they're... If we're going by names, probably their main name. Either that or just call them Grey or something. Add to the anonymity for the spectators.
Ah, we can do that. Team Grey. Maybe we can move between colours and the names. We'll see. Certainly later into the game. So Team Grey, Gregor's, vehicles and bots up first. Certainly on this map you've got a lot of metal in your start zone, and it's one of these where you kind of lock down your start. You play a little bit slowly, feeling out how the other players are going before really pushing anywhere, because the moment you go beyond your initial expansion, you're fighting for the second one, so there's no real second safe expansion, so to speak. Moving around to the next player on our list, we've got Blue Future Gnome. And we've got 4 fabs coming out for them. Bot, what do you think about that one? 5.
It's absolutely reasonable here. It's sort of banking on the hesitancy for every other player to attack immediately. And vehicle fabs, the most efficient land fab, is a strong choice to go along with it. I think we'll probably, out of him, just see certainly you'll see him finish that energy line and just immediately tech. Probably similar builds to the rest of these players here, but smart move on him, or I suppose a potentially smart gamble on him to make so many fabs early.
But because he has got so many and going in different directions, it makes a little bit of a difference to a player next on our list, Discrape in green, who's got a lot of fabs going in a particular direction with a couple spread out elsewhere. So he's managed to go and grab a forward metal expansion position despite having a relatively similar build order to our other players. So definitely being loud, definitely being aggressive, but potentially also banking on other players not wanting to engage super early and may therefore get the value from expanding far early on.
Absolutely. I think it will just be crucial to see if he's attacked by someone rushing T2. If not, then it certainly would have paid out for him.
We've got a little bit of scurrying between grey and, what do we call that? Ice blue, I suppose. Maybe ice blue or mint blue. That is Admiral General or Anonymous Dinosaur on our list. We've even got
a Baja Blast, actually, I think.
a what?
A sort of Baja Blast, if you've ever been to Taco Bell.
No, I have not. A Baja Blast. Bah humbug. Not quite the right season for that one. But Gregor's definitely being aggressive against Admiral General here, I feel like. Popping tanks on that platform right between the players, kicking out General from there, who's just forced to go back and tech up in his base. Moving around, we've got player number 5, Quiltide. Mr. Dolphin down here, teching up to T2 bots as well. We're seeing a lot of teching going on in our picture-in-picture as well. We've got Discrape doing it. We've got Gregor's doing it, and everyone's seeming to go for T2 bots as well. I would have thought.
We have one player. We've got. We have. I took Nick's hotkeys, and now my ping button no longer works. But
it'll be H. Try H for your ping.
H. Ah, that's it.
There you go.
And we also have Future Gnome going tanks as well. T2 tanks. Interesting choices. Again, may pay off if they're not immediately attacked by Blue Hawks.
Well, hopefully, we'll have to see that because it's not super far between the bases. I personally might have thought that vehicles would be better because there's not a lot of raiding and moving about that's really going to happen. You're either attacking someone head on or you're attacking an expansion head on. There's no real circumventing or anything like that. So I don't know. I feel like vehicles is the right way.
Oh, specifically with the Blue Hawks, due to with a map like this, with the spawns as close as they are, and while the metal is generous, it's no heavy metal moon or whatnot. You'll want to just maximize, or you want to minimize the amount of army loss, and Blue Hawks are exceptionally good at that, given that they can attack at ranges that no other units can defend from. Save for maybe a Sheller or a Ghillie. But even then, you'll comparably small losses in these little skirmishes. I think that's generally the approach I think we'll see with a lot of the T2 bot players. We got an early Vanguards out of Bilal. It looks like he's gunning for that point.
Yeah, the Vanguard snipe is one of our bonus point bounties. And that will give 2 points, I believe. I'm trying to find the list of where that. There we go. I've managed to get it up as well now. So, let's keep an eye on that. Some of the others, just for the benefits of the YouTubes, and for those who joined in a bit later. First player to get 3 kills in a game gives you 2 points. First player to kill another player under 5 minutes gives you 2 points. If the first person to kill someone with a Vanguard drop is 2 points. The first player to blow up a planet is 2 points, and rushing a unit cannon as their second T2 is 1 point. So we'll have to see how this works, but certainly we're beyond 5 minutes, so no one's getting that point.
I worried about this. Quiltide having a, I believe he refers to what he's doing now as a sort of, I believe like a sort of Mongolian-inspired push. We're going to see a combat very, very soon, and potentially a player dead here.
A Mongolian-style push. Okay, I'm just gonna disappear for a second on there because I'm gonna set up Vanguard trackers on my other screen. So on my picture-in-picture there, we can keep track of those Vanguards that are now on the move. There we go. Quiltide, having been forced to retreat. Looks like a lot of the T2 and the sniper bots ended up on the front lines there, which might have been the problem. But we've even got Admiral General now with his commander responding to that, but lacking units in comparison to Quiltide there.
Yes, I think Quilt had better vision. If he used his air more aggressively to scout, I think he could have actually pushed in, done either outright killed Admiral General or done a significant more amount of damage. Definitely had the opportunity.
You say that, but we've got a little bit of air going over now, having a quick peek. Bombs softening up the army, not a huge amount, but still better than a poke in the eye. Vanguard still haven't moved out from Bilal. He's got a lot of pelicans here. Is he just going to try and overwhelm someone's air defense? Because that is nuts. He's just forcing out vanguards. He now has almost 9 vanguards ready to drop. If not, no, we're on 10 vanguards ready to drop now. 11. Well, 4 on the floor and many more in the sky.
Oh, okay, good. It's a sort of rally mistake. I was curious for a second.
Yeah.
You plan to just self-Goltide here? So I should mention, we are seeing some exchanges between Discrape and Gregors. They're having some skirmishes along Discrape's metal lines.
Yeah, generally in these sort of central platforms, we're seeing a lot of cementing of positions, but the occasional one where we've got some fighting, like the one you just pointed out. For example, we've got Bilal, who's kind of cemented over here. We've got Disc, who's cemented there. Future, who's here. You know, Future versus Gregors on that one. Disc is cemented there. So we've got an interesting mix, I think. But Gregors is definitely playing the loud game, possibly because he feels a bit hemmed in by Disc in the north. So he feels like he has to push to the south in the opposite direction to Disc. So that might be why he's on the move. But he doesn't have a large army compared to those that he's picking fights with, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Future there with 270 standing army ready to move around. Admiral to the south, slightly easier target, but we've got some interesting strats here. We've got some locusts coming out. So potential threats there. I don't know if anyone saw it in picture-in-picture, but and forgive me for my monologue. Come in if you want to. But there was an air raid from Admiral General into Bilal's Vanguard Pelican force. So Admiral knows that the Vanguards are in the sky. The other players potentially do not. But there were a couple of losses there. Looks like the Pelicans are still going to Admiral, though. Or are they going for Gregors? Firefly Scout has a look, sees a lot of anti-air, going in for it anyway, really? 2 Vanguards down, 3, 5, 6, the Vanguards, There needs to be better micro than that. The rest of the Pelicans need to go in first and swamp. That was a bit of miss micro there from Bilal.
And that might have been for his death here. Goltide's push looks like it's more than enough needed to kill Bilal here.
Absolutely. That was something of a mistake there. Bilal's commander on the front lines, desperately trying to stay alive, but there's just no units there. The T2 Fab is down, and the commander cannot quite get behind the T2 factory. The first kill of the game, and points therefore mean prizes going to Quiltide. Can he get one more hit off? There we go. Quiltide receives 1.5 points for being the first kill. Are you keeping a track of these on a?
I'm keeping a track now. I did not. That is not in the rule of 5. I see. First to kill. Oh, another player within 5 minutes. Wait.
No, down underneath. So you get points for just kills in a game. Those are the bounties, and then if you scroll down, you've got underneath check-in. You've got points.
Oh, there we are. All right, yeah. All right. I see. Thank you.
So, yeah. No one's gone for the unit cannon as their sneaky T2, so I don't think we'll be getting any of that. We've got lots of different T2s here. Ooh! Quiltide almost with a Manhattan there. My word.
That's a snipeable comm right there, even with, I believe, his mediocre bomber force.
That is most definitely one passable for anyone who remembers the one pass days. Wow.
Quiltide may actually come atop in this game. I did not expect such a... It's a series of sort of misplays on the opponents, and him just capitalizing off of it.
I think it's going to be Quiltide, Future Gnome, and Discrape who are going to be our big players in this game. Gregor's is currently struggling, but he has a lot of locusts, and by them lot, I mean a lot. We've got 29 and increasing. I think he just wants to eat someone's base. And personally, the best candidate for that is Admiral General, because Disc has too many ground units holding the chokes. Future Gnome likewise. So Gregor's really, his only option is to migrate south.
I think you're right, though. I think between Discrape and Future Gnome, they both have large armies and obviously imperial ambitions. I think they may butt heads sometime within the next couple of, maybe the next 10-15 minutes. I think we might see Gregor's wait to act until then, and potentially capitalize off of both their inability to fight him.
The thing is, if we look at Future Gnome's perspective, he doesn't know how well Discrape is doing. He has no information on Discrape's side. He's got a little bit of radar. He's got having power problems, but he can see a large number of units up on the north moving down to the south. Hence the mobility of his army now to try and defend his side. We've got a lot of boom bots from Future there. But he doesn't have radar coverage of Gregor's. He does have intel of Gregor's, though, on a couple of points, which is where we've got a Sheller being a nightmare. Whereas Discrape has perfectly good intel and can see both players, and definitely sees Gregor's as an easier target on his radar. So I think if anyone's going to go for anyone, Discrape will go for Gregor's after moving south into Bilal's now empty base. And Future, as he realizes the threat he's in, is probably going to stay quiet, I think, actually. Alright, we got T2 Air coming out from Admiral General. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say this was the Admiral General, or sort of this with a match like this. Orbital is actually specifically orbital radar is a particularly viable, the potent scouting, potent force scouting, as Admiral General is exposing here. It is curious why the other players have not picked that up. I mean, pumping out a single Orchid would net you so much more vision, especially with the introduction of radar jamming towers now that we're not seeing any built. They don't seem to be capitalizing on it.
I've just had a doorbell ring. I'm going to have to go for a couple of moments, if you don't mind. Can you carry over?
I will try. Don't know what's on your stream. Let me see. Lost at a bit of an odd location. Oh, this is a pain. Gregor's is moving in with a locust force. Oh, perfect. It's showing it. It's a relatively ineffectual force. Did he have... He seemed to have had vision of it, though. Doesn't even look like he'll get the T2 factory with the vanguards he's sending. No.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Let's see. Oh, the potential force moving. Gregor's army after the failed assault on Discrape's base.
Oh, did we just have the locusts move and I missed it?
Yes, you didn't miss much. They did not achieve much. They were all killed quite quickly. Though that certainly doesn't seem to be stopping him from sending another.
Yes.
Is the game frozen for you?
It has put... Oh, no, there we go. Catching up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it really, really frustrates me. Oh, we got some levelers going into Admiral General, who's looking a little bit hairy down here. But it really frustrates me that folks don't scout ahead of locusts, and they just kind of gung-ho with locusts. And it really, lowers their value if you don't scout ahead and have a proper approach vector. Because you can end up running into some heavy vanguards that they can't eat very well.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
You know, and...
Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, the amount of time it takes you to build up a good locust force, you know, is significant, and then you go and lose it all on a poor decision. Right.
So, the future being quite opportunistic here. Seeing the push from Discrape into Gregor seems to be the future's trying to gun for that kill, calm kill.
Oh wow, that is a huge army. Gregor's not liking being double teamed here. I can imagine him raging somewhat. Hey, I got 2 people on me. I don't know, that's a very bad Gregor's voice, but yeah, there you go.
He's Polish, right? Wouldn't have to remember how to do a Polish accent. He built the one too many shellers. I think he didn't seem to have the army to accommodate them. And Future, I'm a little confused why he's just idled his army in front of Gregor's and not pushed in. We also have a unit cannon from Future. Let me see, is just building it on the points? Also, as Gregor's saying, wait, he can't attack. Future seems to be having lag. Yeah, as Gregor is saying, though, this is not a good decision by Future. The politics of this FFA game, or just of FFA in general, means you don't really... You want to have a lot of competition between you and the next best player. Future eliminating the competition means that Discrape, who has a larger eco, can simply now just mull over Future.
Yeah.
And he has no vision of Discrape whatsoever. Nice.
That's the big thing. And Discrape, however, only has a couple of elements of defense against unit cannons. So maybe Future Gnome is hoping that that's going to be his ace in the hole here. But we also have a couple of other interesting strats going on. We've got a Manhattan coming out from Quilltide against Admiral General once again. Hoping to get that out there.
Yeah, I will note that Quilltide has no T2 eco. He seems to be single-mindedly focused on sending Manhattans and calm pushes Admiral General's way. Oh, anchors! You don't see those often in a game of this skill.
Manhattan's getting stuck. There we go. But even those 3 anchors are not going to be enough to deal with a Manhattan there. So it's going to do some damage now if it gets a little nudge into the base. There you go. It'll take out some of the army. Oh. Don't think he wants to use all of his air on that, to be honest, nor all of his T2. A push into the force there. Down goes the orbital. The T2 factory as well. That's potentially significant and will dampen Admiral General's ability to defend himself as T2 units start to do a follow-up assault there. That being said, they don't have any anti-air in that, and now Admiral General is going to rely on his air to defend. So he should just about manage to survive. The big question is going to...
It is... This may be a death push right now for Quilltide. This game should... This event... the situation is harrowing for Quilltide.
Oh, there's a worm coming in on Quilltide. Oh, that was a miscalculation. That was a miscalculation and a half. Oh, the worm's down. There's a second one coming for another snipe. Can he manage it? Can he manage another hit? He does. He needs another one. One more.
And another one's coming out.
It's got to try and get past the Galata, though. That's the trouble. The commander's almost in safety. Oh, the worm's swinging south. I like that. Anticipating a retreating commander. It will still get a little hit. There you go. The commander can see it. Trying to get into the teleporter. He's on the wrong side of the teleporter there. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. The commander not quite going to get in. Whoa! Unbelievably close there, and Admiral goes down in a last-ditch attempt at trying to snipe. So, Discrape there, claiming the kill, I think. Was it Discrape or was it Quiltide?
I think that was Quiltide. If we have the option to decide it, I'd probably lean to Quiltide, given his ceaseless assault of Admiral General.
But it's all it takes
So
is
this
one
is the last
shot.
Quiltide is going to be.
Let's have a look here. Oh, it looks like it was Discrape. Yeah, I'm giving that one to Discrape. The shot from the Vanguard and the Leveler didn't quite have time to connect.
Let me tie this in.
Oh, I hear some unit cannons going over to Discrape. Meanwhile, Discrape is attacking and will kill Quilt. So Discrape has just got a kill on Quilt. Future has just sent his unit cannons in completely the wrong place and has revealed his unit cannons. Now the commander will pop up probably some anti-orbital defense around that. But it is now Future versus Discrape. And Discrape, as he's been killing, has been expanding.
Yes, the politics was not played well by Future here. He needed to upholster Gregors and ensure that the game remained, or that he remained as a competitor to Discrape, not killing the potential competition or the potential sort of allies he had. And the single army push that we will see from him and Discrape will decide the entire game. Have to see how that plays.
Got a lot of booms here that are potentially just going to try and soften things up. But I think he's really got to swing south to do some infrastructure damage rather than going straight into an army here. But taking out some T2 metal there. With some of those booms, we've got a lot of units that can help with the frame rate here. I'm going to get rid of my picture-in-picture.
This is a terrible push by Future. Spreading out his army like this.
That is, yeah.
He has just damned himself. Not what I'd expect of someone with a 6.5 rating. I suppose that's what, either high gold or low flat?
Well, you say it's a terrible push, but actually, if you look at how the army is working, Discrape is having to swoop south with all of his force. Meanwhile, Future Gnome is still coming in the north with some T2 vehicles, slower moving. And the north is where the commander is. So Discrape is defending more successfully in any given point, but by moving, he's giving Future an opportunity to soften. That being said, Future is not taking that opportunity. And so all Future is left with is loads of booms to try and soften up a T2 army. Will they manage it? Into some T2 turrets there. Into some tanks.
And that appears to be game here. And game more so because Future's comm is about to die from the back. Oh, he's sending it in. Yes, it's an acceptance. Yeah,
surprise.
All right, so that is then one more point for Discrape. All right, I have to go back in time, see who killed Gregors.
It was Disc.
It was. All right.
I think I'm fairly sure it was Disc.
Oh well, I knew that he was pestering him. Nope, it was Future Gnome. Future Gnome got the kill.
I was.
Let's have a gander. Let's give that to him. Let's see, who else?
Yes, it was Future Gnome. Say again?
I'm just checking to see if there's any points to give. Winner of each fight 2 points, so that's another point. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta start. Ooh, I might actually. I wonder if we can use the spreadsheet for the players as a sort of point tracking thing.
Yes, probably. So Disc gets another 2. Future gets 1. And
it's right there. Anyways, perfect. I didn't even realize. All right.
And Quilt gets 0.5.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3 plus the 2 for winning the game. be up at 5 now. And future with 1. Okay, anyone else? And then 3rd place, that was...
Okay, sounds like game 1 had the unit cannon bonus, so that is now off the table as a bounty.
Quiltide having an extra 0.5.
Right, so we've got a VFR or whatever it is, the close-up replay to have a look at the Admiral kill. Is that what it is in sports, the VFR?
I would have to watch sports. We play video games, Marshall. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was disc. It was a disc shot that got it.
It was. I see.
I'm gonna watch that one more time, just to make sure.
Honestly, I'm sort of disappointed with how hard Quiltide worked on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was a disc shot.